Hello everyone, welcome to Sathuranga Chanakyan. This is a new series and I'm very happy to start this series called Road to Grandmaster. In this series, what you are going to learn is that I'm going to upload my games which I play in the real-time tournament. I am a 1400 FIDE-Rated player. I have faced opponents from unrated to 2000, 2022 or 2200 opponents. I have had a fantastic experience in the last 1 year or 8 to 12 months, and I have around 40 games in my database as a classical games, and I'm going to analyze one by one. And today, this is the first tournament post COVID I was playing last year October, but this year, we are in this year October, but I have around 30 games I can easily cover in 2 to 3 months. You are going to learn a lot of experience that is from the real time experiences, and whether you are a rated player around 1400, 1500, or 1600, or even unrated, or you are just getting started, none of this actually matters, because here we are going to learn the practical perspective of the game, how my opponent are behaving, or how he is psychologically changing his perspectives, and how my opponents are playing in a pressure time or a time pressure. So all these things I'm going to teach you in this, or I'm going to explain my experience and my opponent's experiences, and how did they react to my threats, and how did I blunder, how did they blunder. So a lot of things we are going to learn in a fun way. And once again, I welcome you all to this Road to Grandmaster series. Today, I'm going to present you a game which I played last year. This tournament is called the ICC, and it was played in a city called Coimbatore in Tamil Nadu, India. So this is like I said, this is a first game after like 5 years time I'm playing. So I have a rating of around 2200 on chess.com, as well as leeches more than 2200. So I was when I was playing this game against this opponent, I was literally nervous, so nervous, because I didn't play the game, over the board game, for almost like 5 years. Okay, but on and off I was playing a rapid and blitz over the board, but not the classicals. So this opponent was unrated. So without much delay, let's get started. So I was rated at the time 1443. I played one tournament before COVID and I got the rating, and it was at 1443. You are going to learn a lot of things from this game. So my opponent name is Sri Shatak. He was unrated. So I was handling the white pieces. So I started the game with the 1 e4. My opponent played e5, which I was expecting. So knight f3, so bringing the knight, attacking this e5 pawn. So very natural move. So he is also bringing the knight out and defends the pawn. So here I use two abbreviations to easily understand and remember. Whenever we play a opening, we need to understand these two abbreviations, that is dad and da. So dad means develop and defend. Example, he develops the piece and defend the pawn, right? Here I develop the piece and I attack the pawn. So this is what is called a dad and da. So you have, if you can remember these two key abbreviations, in any opening you can bring the pieces out effectively into an optimum square. Anyway, let's continue. Bishop c4, the Italian opening, and then he brought the bishop out, bishop c5, and then I immediately castled. You might be thinking that here are the main moves like pawn c3, pawn d3. These are the main moves, right? But in the game, I played a castling because I was prepared to play Dow's Gambit. When I was playing this game, I had a mindset of, I want to beat the players very quickly, use the gambit. So that kind of mindset I had, but not right now. So we have to enjoy the game and we have to learn the game step by step. No rush. You don't have to, win the game faster. So if you have that mindset, you cannot improve. That is the point I'm trying to make. So after castling, he brought the knight out. So knight f6, and I play knight pawn to d4. This is called the Dowd's Gambit, or we can even call it as a max slang attack. So far it is calling two knights defense as per chess.com's database. So after bishop takes c5, that is the main move. So I was really surprised to see him playing this move, because I was expecting him to take with the knight or the pawn. So that are the two weak moves where your opponent can fall for an opening trap. but he played the main move, that is bishop takes d4 is the main move, giving up the bishop pair in the opening, gaining the pawn. After knight takes d4, he played knight takes d4, and then here I actually forgot the main move, that is to play pawn to f4. So pawn to f4 is very simple move, that is undermining the black center and also trying to undermine the knight's defense. So in that case, if I had to play this move pawn to f4, then if they take, yeah, they are going to lose the knight, so they have to support the center. So after takes, and then I go bishop g5, and then bishop e6, knight a3. These are the main moves in this line, which was I prepared, but unfortunately during the game I forgot. So these are the small lessons you can learn. So you cannot memorize the opening, that is the point. So bishop to g5, directly I played that move, and then I realized something wrong with this move, because I remember playing f4 after playing bishop g5. So he plays pawn to h6 immediately, questioning the bishop's post, and I don't want to waste my time. So I can actually keep the bishop's spin by playing bishop h4, but that will be kind of inviting pawn to g5 idea where I castled already, so that looks risky. So I played bishop into f6. That is a mistake according to the engine, because you just wasted two tempo for nothing. You brought the queen into the game, and now interestingly I played this move now, pawn to f4. This is a mistake again. What is the problem with this move? Well, the problem is they can actually take on f4, because now the queen is guarding that d4 square, the knight. But in the game, my opponent started playing greedily, so he played queen to b6, threatening a discovery. And not only that, if you can see this, there is one more problem in the position, that is queen takes b2. So this is a serious threat, right? So here I went on to thinking of for about 10 to 15 minutes that I went, and then I realized one key thing in this position. The first thing is that I have castled. I have at least two pieces active. They have also two pieces active. But one more problem is that their king is in the center. So what the principle says, when the king is in the center, try to open up the position and target the king, right? So in this game, I mean in this position, I calculated a lot of variations, including, say for example, what happens. The main variation I was considering is that was happened in the game, that is pawn takes pawn. That's actually a brilliant move, but chess.com didn't agree with me. So because I planned to sacrifice my rook in the corner, so that's why the thumbnail was like that. So I played king to h1, so allow him to take on b2, because I cannot take on e4 or e5 without parking my king in the corner because of the discovered check threats, right? So king h1, and then my opponent took greedily on b2. And here I was really confident after my calculation, because one more thing I want to tell here about my opponent is that after every move, I can still remember this this situation where I was playing in the tournament hall. He keeps on he plays one move and then he just walks away. So that is a kind of attitude we had. Like, say for example, in this position he took on b2 and then he just started walking. So I was thinking, okay, this fellow is not calculating properly, and I'm like very nervous because of the 5 years gap playing the classical. I don't want to lose this game definitely to a unrated player. So losing to a unrated player is not disrespectful, but still you don't want to do that, right? So here in this game I played confidently this move. So f takes e5. So here what I was thinking about, the other variation is bishop takes f7 check. This wouldn't work because of king takes f7. After f takes e5 discovery, this was the calculation I made. And after king e8 and then queen h5 check, king d8, and then there is nothing. So I cannot keep attacking, but say for example in this position you can throw this check, maybe you can get a draw. But if you play knight to d2 in this position, then you are gone, because knight e6 is there. So knight e6, and then he can consolidate everything. So I calculated this much, but I couldn't go further. So here in this position, one more variation I calculated directly is that queen to h5, going to h5 and threatening mate. If you consider this move, then there is a problem because he will just castle, and my rook's sacrifice, it won't suffice or compensate these moves, and you can simply bring one more piece into the game by playing pawn to d6 and bishop coming into the game, and that's unstoppable. So that concludes that these two moves are not useless, or I mean useful. So I played a, king h1, and then I took on e5. So this is a great move according to chess.com. So queen takes a1. So it is a blunder. So queen takes a1 is a blunder because now I can take on f7 with the check. You could have already spotted a small pattern here. That is, if he goes here on f8, you are running or you are asking for trouble, right? You can even trap the queen in many variations in this kind of position. And here he played king d8, and here I sensed some kind of pattern. So look at this. This is covered by the bishop, and this is the only escape square the king has got. So if I can attack on the down square, that is the only square he has got, and that should be a checkmate. So what should I play in this position? I thought of playing queen to g5 directly, but then the knight can actually do something and come back into the game maybe. So I thought we should kick the knight, and also he can definitely grab an c2 as well. But then after c3, even if I don't checkmate him, if I couldn't checkmate him, I can actually trap the queen. So here what happened? He played knight back to c6. That's a blunder. In this position, the computer wants to give up the knight and consolidate the position. How do you consolidate? Well, you have to play this move, pawn to c5, and then bishop to d5, and then the game goes on. So here, instead of that, he played I played pawn c3, kicking the knight, and he went back knight c6. He was very happy in this position, realizing that he has got a lot of material in his pocket. But then after queen to g5, it looks like a blunder to him because I played queen g4 in a square where the knight can actually fold both the pieces. But what he missed is I calculated everything from here from this move onwards. This is a move number 14. Another 5 to 6 moves, the game is going to end now because of the pattern I recognize, and he didn't stop that. So he played a knight takes e5, threatening or forked me, but then I happily grabbed on g7. And then one more thing, after knight takes f7, now the rook is guarded. How you are going to capture me? He looks like that. I mean, he thinks that I'll blunder, but the problem is it is actually mate in 6 from here. Starting with this move, queen f6 check, you don't capture the knight directly, and now you capture it with the check. Go back, give the check again check. So you grab the rook and then check again. There are two ways to deliver mate from here or before that, but I went with this one. It's very easy to spot. So queen f6 check, king e8, and then I delivered mate on the board by playing queen to f5, and that was very satisfying after a long time. My first game after 5 years, it was really satisfying, and it gave me a confidence that okay, I can calculate some moves deeper, at least 3 to 5 moves. And you would see that following games I was playing well or reasonably well, and this game actually built up my confidence. So the lessons I learned, or the lessons you should learn from this game, especially when you are playing a classical game, should just like that, do not walk around. I would say this is the only reason he lost this game, because he didn't sit on the board properly. So he will just make a move and then he will just start walking. And that second thing, he was greedily capturing my rook in the corner, which is doing nothing in the opening, because if you go back to this position, his rooks are doing nothing in this position. Say for example here, yeah, so where I am started attacking already, he grabbed the rook in the corner, the queen is doing nothing and he is not contributing in the game. And all these pieces, look at this, 10 plus 3, 13 value pieces are doing nothing. This is called relative value in chess, right? I will talk more about this in a different lesson called relative value. It's a wonderful lesson, or everyone should know this, how to evaluate a position during in the middle game as well as the end game. So that relative value will help you to evaluate like a grandmaster. I'll assure you that. That video will be coming up soon, but now for the time, he was greedy and captured my rook in the corner, and then he couldn't see this attack coming, especially the mating net. So he blended everything, and I was able to win this game in just 21 moves. And I hope you enjoyed this and learned something from this game, at least one or two things from this game. And if you do so, please like this video and subscribe to Sathuranga Chanakyan for more informative and educational video. And see you soon.